The original picture that you're seeing on this deck is directly from an old print that's about 300 years old that came out of Europe. It's been a really cool opportunity to get to use this phenomenal old artwork and get to put it on our skateboards. So on the David and Goliath deck, this story has been really famous throughout all time, just as one of victory, an iconic story about how knowing who God is abolishes all fear out of our lives.
I love the actual graphic itself, but I also love the story behind it. For those of you that don't know, David was a shepherd boy who lived in Israel. He was taking care of sheep, and at a certain period in his life, God chose him to take care of the Israelites.
And he was small. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a fighter. He just looked after his dad's sheep. And one day, the enemies of God's people came to attack their country, came to take away their freedom. And all the warriors of Israel got together to fight against that enemy.
The Philistines has this one guy who's 3 meters tall, his name's Goliath, and he comes out every day and taunts the people. He comes out and he taunts them saying, "Hey, someone come fight me one-on-one. If you can beat me, then Israel wins over my people. But if I win, my people will take over your country and we'll claim your land as ours."
All the soldiers, they were just like too afraid because this man was a giant. He was huge. He was like 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall, huge muscle man. So when all the other soldiers looked at him, they thought, I am not going to go and fight against that guy. He is way too big. We will die.
David went there and Goliath came out and did his daily threat, and David heard it and decided that he wanted to go against Goliath, even though he was just a little dude and Goliath was like 9 feet tall.
David was basically saying, I don't care how big you are and I don't care how small I am or how little I am, I have God on my side.
And he goes out and faces Goliath, and when he's out there, Goliath just laughs at him. He says, "Who are you? Why is this little kid coming out here?"
David picked one stone and he put it in his sling and he slung that thing around and he let it go, and it flew out and it hit the giant in the head.
The Bible said it sinks into his head and he falls on the ground. And David picks up Goliath's sword and cuts his head off, and he brought victory to Israel that day.
When David was a young shepherd boy taking care of his flock, he had to protect his flock. In a sense, he was leading his flock. And so there were many times where all of his sheep would be attacked. Sometimes it was by bears, sometimes it was by lions. And so David had to protect his flock from being eaten. So David took that same thing that he learned from protecting his flock to protect the Israelites. So when Goliath stepped up to him, he's just like, okay, this is just one more thing.
And he knew that he could trust in God to not only deliver him in the moment when he killed Goliath, but he could deliver him in the future when it came to running the entire country.
When we choose God, when we choose to honor Him and love Him and follow Him with all of our hearts, when we give Him all of our heart, we can do anything. We can do the impossible. And God honors the people. And God is with the people who choose Him. It's plain and simple. And I'm going to choose to be just like David. I'm going to stand up for what's right. I'm going to stand up for God. And I'm going to do what He tells me to do, even if that means fighting giants.